Theo Winter, and I am interviewing to get a spot in medical school. So when I was 12 years old, I watched an HBO documentary that forever changed my view of the world. This documentary was talking about how Washington, D.C. has the highest rate of HIV per capita in any other city in the whole world. And that changed my view of the world because as a 12-year-old who understood that I lived in a very affluent society, I couldn't understand how the city of DC was so heavily impacted by a horrible disease such as HIV. So because of this sparked a passion in me to not only want to study medicine, but eventually go into nonprofit. And so the reason why medical school comes into that is because honestly, at the end of the day, I do want to make money, but that's only because I can retire within good time and eventually start my own nonprofit and work in healthcare policy. So because of that, the reasons why I have such good experience at the end of the day, I also have many strengths, and my future plans are catered towards someone who does want to go to medical school. I feel like I should be chosen at the end of the day for Texas Tech's Health Sciences Center School of Medicine. So my strengths do include the fact that I am a problem solver, to the point of where I solve people's problems even if they don't ask me to. It's just because it's something that's been ingrained in me since day one when it comes to whether it be little things like logic puzzles or big things like student government problems that concern the whole campus. I just love solving problems for people and want to carry that into medical school and eventually being a doctor. I also like to cater towards people's individual needs. I'm that kind of person that spends hours thinking of specific gifts to give to people because I don't just want to give a generic gift card or anything like that. And I also like to cater how I talk to people and discipline them towards what they would best respond. And I feel like that is really integral towards patient care, and it's important that I prioritize each patient so that they understand that they're not just any other patient, but that I also prioritize every single patient that comes my way. And I feel like that will be a very integral key towards what medical schools want in doctors. And I also am very innovative. I don't really like just to sit and go through what the system has told me to go through. I like to be on the forefront of change, and I feel like that will be integral as well when it comes to research and changing how we not only cater towards patients, but different things, specifically in the field of oncology and how we cater towards cancer and treat the whole disease of cancer. So for those three strengths, I also have built on my experiences, and these experiences include things like volunteering. I volunteered for Texas Tech Health Physicians and the Patient Services Department, and also the Department of Orthopedics and X-rays. And in doing so, I've gotten a better understanding of how patients are in actual clinician settings, and I've gotten a better understanding as to how to talk to patients and help them have the best care necessary for their health. And I've also shadowed. I shadowed for Dr. McKenzie of the Health Sciences Center and the Division of Infectious Disease, and that was really rewarding to me because it told me that I did want to go into internal medicine eventually, and I also understood what it takes to become a doctor, specifically what it takes to become a doctor and internal medicine, so that only fueled my passion for wanting to be a doctor. I've also done cancer research at the Health Sciences Center and was able to do a research internship over the summer for UT Southwestern Medical Center. Both of these also taught me that cancer research and oncology is another division inside of internal medicine that I'm very interested in, and once again fueled my passion to be a doctor. But lastly, I was a mentor for the Honors College as well. And not only was the Honors College something that really impacted my life for the better, I thought that it would be best to have a more service-oriented job and help students who are first-year honors students transition into life at Texas Tech, not only so they understand how many resources they do have at the School of Texas Tech, but also because it made me grow as a mentor and only added to my resume when it came to catering towards how people respond to transitioning into a different life. And so all of those things have only helped me fuel my future plans, which include working with healthcare policy management. I think this is really important because doctors, especially today, aren't really on the forefront of healthcare policy management. And so when things are passed in healthcare policy that doctors aren't really a part of, it could undermine the whole system of healthcare in general. So hopefully after my role as a doctor, I can go into healthcare policy so that I can bring the doctor's perspective to Washington and anywhere else that I'm needed. That way we can have a healthcare mindset that is one that includes not only policymakers, but includes doctors and nurses and anybody else who's involved in healthcare. And I also, at the end of the day, would love to work in nonprofit. Now, of course, I don't have Bill Gates' money, but I would love to do what Bill Gates is doing by eradicating major diseases like polio. So hopefully one day when I do have that title of Dr. Winter in my name, that I can retire gracefully and do something like Bill Gates has done for the rest of my life and work in nonprofit. So at the end of the day, while I was a 12-year-old girl who was very sad about learning what was going on in her own nation that was considered a very affluent one, I believe that I have set myself up to be a person who does have the experience and who does have the strengths and who has catered her future plans to one that is devoted to making people's lives better and making the whole healthcare system in the United States of America better. So I hope for these reasons you would choose me as a candidate, because you see that my experiences and my strengths and my future plans are one that reflects somebody that you would want at your medical school.